Okay, so I DNF'd some of the most popular books on BookTok. And I know you're probably going to hate me for this, but hear me out. These books have millions of fans, 5-star reviews everywhere, but I just couldn't finish them. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly why. So if you're a fan of any of these books, please don't come for me in the comments. Or actually, do come for me because I love a good debate. Let's get into it. Before we start, let me be crystal clear. DNFing a book does not mean it's a bad book. It just means it wasn't the right book for me at that particular time. Your reading experience might be completely different, and that's totally okay. Reading is subjective. What bores me might be your favorite book of all time. So let's normalize DNFing books without guilt, okay? Life's too short to force yourself through books you're not enjoying. All right, let's start with the one that's going to get me the most hate. Lightlark by Aster. This book was everywhere on BookTok. Like, you couldn't scroll for 5 seconds without seeing someone rave about it. The premise sounded amazing. 6 rulers, cursed islands, a deadly game, romance, betrayal. I was so excited. But here's the thing. I DNF'd at page 150, and by page 150, I was still confused about the world building. The magic system didn't make sense to me. The rules of the game kept changing, and I couldn't connect with any of the characters. I kept seeing people say, it gets better after page 200. But guys, if I have to read 200 pages before it gets good, that's almost half the book. I shouldn't have to work that hard to enjoy a story. And look, I can see why people love it. The concept is cool, the cover is gorgeous, and if you're into fast-paced fantasy with lots of twists, you might love it. But for me, the execution just didn't match the hype. I wanted to love it so badly, but I just didn't. Book 2, Twisted Love by Huang. Dark. Romance girlies, please don't attack me. I know this book is like the book for spicy romance right now. Everyone's obsessed with Alex Volkov, but I had to DNF this one at page 100. Here's why. The relationship dynamics made me uncomfortable, and not in the, ooh, this is dark and edgy way, but in the wait, this is actually toxic way. Alex is possessive, controlling, and honestly, kind of creepy. He tracks Ava's location, makes decisions for her, and gets jealous over the smallest things. And the book presents this as romantic, as if stalking someone is a love language. I've seen people say, but he has trauma. And yes, trauma is real and valid, but trauma doesn't excuse toxic behavior. Having a tragic backstory doesn't make it okay to control another person. Plus, the pacing felt rushed. They went from strangers to I would die for you in like 3 chapters. Where's the slow burn? Where's the character development? Again, if you loved this book, that's totally fine. Dark romance isn't for everyone, and that's okay. But for me, I couldn't get past the red flags. Book 3, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Okay, this one is going to be really controversial because The Song of Achilles is considered a modern classic. People love this book. It has a 4.5-star rating on Goodreads with over 1 million reviews. But I DNF'd at page 180, and I feel terrible about it because I wanted to love it. Here's my issue. The pacing was so slow. For the first 180 pages, it felt like nothing was happening. Just Patroclus and Achilles growing up, training, hanging out. And I kept waiting for the story to start, for the Trojan War, for the drama, for the heartbreak everyone talks about. People told me, just wait until the end, you'll cry for hours. But I couldn't make it to the end because I was bored for 180 pages. I think the problem is that I went in with huge expectations. Everyone said it was the most beautiful, devastating love story ever written. So when I found it slow and uneventful, I was disappointed. Maybe I'll try again someday when I'm in the right mood for a slow-burn historical romance. But right now, DNF. Book 4, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Another BookTok sensation. This one was marketed as The Hunger Games meets Red Queen with enemies to lovers romance, and honestly, That's exactly what it felt like. Too much like those books. I DNF'd at page 120 because it felt like I'd read this exact story 10 times before. The girl without powers in a world of powered peopleless trope. The brutal competition trope. The enemy prince who's secretly not that bad trope. There was nothing new or original here. I could predict every plot twist before it happened. Oh, the prince is gonna save her during the trial? Yep. Oh, she's actually gonna have secret powers? Called it. Oh, there's gonna be a rebellion? Of course. And the writing felt very Wattpad-ish, which isn't necessarily bad. Lots of people love Wattpad stories, but for me, I need more depth, more complexity, more originality. I think if you're new to young adult fantasy, you might really enjoy this. But if you've read a lot in this genre, it's gonna feel repetitive. Book 5. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Last one, and this is probably the most controversial. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I know. This book means so much to so many people. It deals with serious topics like domestic violence, and I respect that. But I had to DNF at page 90, and here's why. The relationship between Lily and Ryle made me deeply uncomfortable. The way the abuse was portrayed felt romanticized? Like, Ryle would do something terrible, then apologize with flowers and sweet words, and Lily would forgive him. And this cycle repeated. I understand that this is realistic. That's how abusive relationships work. But reading it felt triggering and upsetting. I didn't feel like the book was condemning the abuse strongly enough. Also, the writing style didn't work for me. The dialogue felt unnatural, and some of the scenes were cringy. But here's the thing. I know this book has helped a lot of people recognize abusive patterns in their own relationships. I know it started important conversations, and I respect that. It just wasn't the right book for my mental health at that time.